What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Was kicking around in the garage the other day looking for a 2x4 and found it. As I was looking for that 2x4, I found something else that I think is going to be pretty cool that I'm going to get out here in just a minute. First, let me show you what I did with my 2x4. So stay tuned. Okay, over here we got our little garden box. It's a little 6x6 raised bed, and we were having some people over the other day, and I got to noticing that my tomato plants were in really bad shape. Now, this planter, this garden raised bed, was a sand box when we first moved in that we converted to this that you see here. Basically, we left the sand in it and just worked in a bunch of topsoil, which was pretty effective. It does really well, but my tomato plants that I do, I'm going to kind of come up here closer, they weren't doing well at all. And it's because I use T-post when I stake them, and this was put here by the previous owner because it's on top of a rock. You can see that rock outcropping right there, and so that's what that's as deep as the dirt is at 2x10 or whatever that is. That's as deep as the dirt is. So over time, when it gets dry, they kind of were falling over. And then let me show you kind of what I did. So basically, I took the 2x4 and I cut it in half, screwed it into the frame there, and then I came up here at the top and I drilled a hole and actually ran some rope in. With that rope, I actually took it, and that's a modified clove hitch is really what it is. I looped it and ran to the next one, looped it, etc., 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 all the way to the end, and I made another knot with this board, and now they're basically supported. So they're doing really well. And my dog Dexter right there, we got him in the pool one day, and he started digging around in there, and he dug out these two plants that are out here on the side, and miraculously they kept growing. I think they're cantaloupes, and so we're hoping that they take off here in a little bit. But we got some peppers growing, tomatoes growing. You see some cucumbers down in there. Let's see if I can zoom in on something. Cucumber growing. Got some green beans growing. So things are going well. And look, there's a water bottle that was left from our swim party the other day. I'll pour the water on there. But I will take you in the garage now and kind of show you what I was talking about, what I found when I was looking for this board. Alright, so back out here in the garage, and my garage is like most people's garage. My wife actually parks in here, so she's not home from work yet. And then everything else is basically storage. So like, I'm going to flip the camera around here and kind of show you my side. Ryan lawnmower, there's a failed cornhole board attempt, a generator, a little table saw. I got some other stuff. But over here in this corner, where I've got a couple of ice chests and a canopy and some other stuff, hidden back here in this corner, as I move some stuff around, I'm going to try not to spill anything. Let's see if I can find it. Right, you can see a glint of it right there. Right, so I'm going to set the camera up over here on this table and see if I can't film this one, or maybe you can see me dig it out. Alright, so it's filming now. Said I had some lumber over here I was moving around. These big 2x6s that were like a ramp at one time. And I was moving some of this stuff around. And then back here in the corner, I noticed a prize from my childhood, and so I'm going to cut this and I'm going to get this set up outside, and we'll talk about what this is and where it came from and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to cut this right here. Alright guys, so welcome back. I've got this little BB gun set up on this gun cleaning station that I got from my father a little bit ago. This is a 760 Pump Master made by Crossman that I got, I don't know, 1990, 1991, something like that. So it's, you know, close to 30 years old. It's one of those things that I managed to keep with me throughout my moves, throughout life. My wife and I have only lived in, well, we lived in an apartment when we first got married, and way back in '95, and then we moved to a rental house of her grandparents, lived there for a couple years, and then bought a house in Murfreesboro and lived there 15 years before I lived here. And I've been here 7, so I guarantee you this gun right here has been in my corner of my garage for 7 years, the 7 years I've been here. And you tell it's covered in cobwebs and it's covered in everything else. I'm going to pick the camera up now, and I'm going to talk about a couple things that I see. Okay, so I've got it flipped around here. Alright, so just kind of starting at the barrel, go down to the butt. So obviously there's lots of crap all over it, so I got to spend some time cleaning it. Alright, so it does have a little scope on it, and there is a story behind the scope. Let me get up here to the front. When I got the gun, it had open sights on it. Alright, there's a rear sight. If you notice, the front sight is gone. There was a time when my father had us get under the house to do something, move some lumber, or I don't remember what we were doing. But I told him, I said, I'm not getting under there unless I can take my gun with me. And he was like, I don't care what you do, but as long as you get the job done. And I said, well, good. So I took my BB gun under the house with us. We did the job, got done with it. And somehow crawling out of the crawl space or whatever, when I got out, I realized that the front sight on the gun was gone. And then after that, I really couldn't hit anything with it. And we used to shoot like Osage orange, hedge apples, things like that out of bodock trees is really what we shot the most. But I chose to go get a scope for it. Well, being a kid of humble means, I didn't have a whole lot of money. And I had no idea what a scope cost. And I think I had $20 to my name. I went to Walmart, and I think I bought this scope right here for $14 and some change. And it was plenty good enough. It was the cheapest one they sold, obviously. But anyhow, this is what the gun looks like right now. So I found this. I'm actually going to take some time and clean this up, basically wipe it down. And then I've got an idea for me and my son to do some shooting with it, have a little fun. And we'll get into that maybe on our next video. But in the meantime, just know that I'm going to be wiping this beauty down and seeing if it still shoots, make sure the barrel's clean and all that kind of stuff. May take some aluminum, not steel wool rather, and clean that barrel up a little bit. Obviously it's not a high value gun. I'm not trying to resell it one day and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not worried about all that. But it's pretty fun to find this gun and see that I still own it, and maybe I can get out and have some fun with my boy and my daughters too if they want. And so I'm going to cut this right here, guys. Stay tuned for the next video, and maybe I can get out and we can do some shooting with this dude. So y'all stay tuned. Thanks.